Welcome to the latest NSF webinar. Today's topic is about managing a quality network, whether it be real or virtual. Let's give this a definition first. A real network could be having responsibility for several sites within your own company, or perhaps leadership of a function, for example, supplier quality. A virtual network could be the responsibility for a group of contract manufacturers. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lynne Byers, and I work for NSF as an Executive Director. I have a degree in chemistry, I have a postgraduate diploma in management, and also in pharmaceutical quality assurance, and have been eligible to be a qualified person since 1993. You might wonder why I'm talking about this topic. Well, a couple of the jobs that I've had in the past. When I worked for GSK, I was the VP of Global Quality for Supplier Quality Assurance. And the last job I had when I worked for Novartis was VP of Quality for External Supply. So I have direct experience of managing both virtual and real networks within a company. So, if you are the person responsible for the organisation, there are probably several questions in your mind. How will I know what's going on? Where should I spend my time? These are real questions that people face when they have responsibility, where they can't actually see what's going on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing I would say is it's important to set expectations. And what expectations do you set as an organisation? Do you have a clear pharmaceutical quality system which defines what needs to be achieved? Some companies use global procedures which give more detail than a policy. They include how something should be achieved and who should do it. This is particularly good if you're running a function. So, for example, supplier quality, then it's good to have some global procedures so everyone in the organisation does it the same way. When managing a virtual network, the required standards are built into the quality and technical agreement. It is normal practice to require contract manufacturers to meet regulatory requirements, but not for the contract giver to provide related SOPs. It would be very difficult for them to receive SOPs from multiple companies. But the technical agreement is very important as this gives a high-level view of the roles and responsibilities. So, you're at the point where the standards have been set. How do you know whether or not the site or the CMO or the function is following the standards? Metrics. Metrics play an important part in knowing how things are going. Depending on the metric, immediate reporting might be required. So, for example, a potential recall. Here, it does not matter whether the reporting organisation is within or outside your own organisation. If there's a potential recall, you'll want to know about it very quickly. For more normal standard metrics, a minimum of monthly is recommended for internal or functional networks, and perhaps every 3 or 6 months for contract manufacturers, depending upon their importance to the company. There is a saying that what gets measured gets done. This is true. I would also add that what are the critical few metrics which will give you the health check or the warning signals? The metrics will be different for different organisations and will depend upon the maturity of the organisation and the priorities. If a new pharmaceutical quality system is being implemented, then the percentage implementation rate of new policies would be a good metric. If there's a problem with delayed CAPA implementation, then measuring the percentage of CAPAs closed on time would be a good measure. With all metrics, it's important to drive the right behaviour and not the wrong behaviour. How a leader responds to failure to meet targets is critical. Leaders should try to understand why there's been a failure, to be curious and to ask the right questions, and also for them to help to solve the problem, rather than just being rather critical of the fact that the site or the organisation has not achieved set targets. How a leader responds reflects the culture of the organisation and himself or herself, and the culture that they would wish to engender. Many organisations have a speak-up culture, but management need to be very aware that how they respond and how they react when someone has the courage to speak up is critical. Reacting badly when someone gives you feedback about a problem will spread like wildfire across an organisation. Leaders need to build trust with their staff. They need to understand them and also empower staff to do their jobs. Same is true if you're working in a virtual network. You need to choose partners that you can actually trust to do their jobs and let them get on with it. You should not be trying to supervise a virtual network in the same way as you might choose to supervise a line in one of your own facilities. Coming back to how a leader knows what is going on across their organisation, auditing is an excellent tool for managers. An independent set of eyes reviewing operations gives a level of comfort or discomfort in how the organisation is being run. Proactive leaders often ask organisations such as NSF to audit several sites and to benchmark them. This has the advantage of an outside pair of eyes and reviewing several sites in a short space of time, which can give trends or identify good practices which can be shared. However, as we all know, most audit reports and most audits are only a sample and a snapshot in time, so it's important not to rely too much on auditing and benchmarking. The most critical part of an organisation is the people in critical roles. Do they fully understand their role? Do they have the right skills, knowledge and experience to do their job? Are they up to date with the current regulations or how other companies do things? When did they last attend a training course or an external conference? Do they have the right soft skills to do their job, to influence, to persuade others, and to explain why something is important? Another question that we're often asked is, should quality report solid line into quality or have direct line reporting? The regulations are clear that quality assurance should be independent of production. So, if you think about it, quality assurance reporting into a site head of a manufacturing site with the production head as a peer would be acceptable. However, I would advocate that QA heads should be linked to other QA heads in an organisation so that there are mechanisms to ask for help and to share good practice or discuss grey area decisions. This is particularly important for small companies, actually, more so than larger ones who have their own internal networks. With small companies, it's more important in a way that the people actually go and network with peers from other companies and perhaps attend conferences routinely. Engaging with staff in a virtual network is difficult. Whether it's within your own organisation or whether it's contract manufacturing, nothing beats face-to-face engagement. But when you're leading a global organisation, you need to use all the tools at your disposal, both formal and informal. Setting time for regular telecoms as teams and one-to-ones is a good practice. For communication to the whole organisation, town halls via WebEx or similar are good practice. When managing contract manufacturing organisations, there should be regular meetings. If you're the head of that function, you can't do all of them yourself. So you need to be clear who is the quality single point of contact with each of the contract manufacturing organisations. The leader should engage with the critical few contract manufacturing organisations where they are strategic for your own company. And when you do visit a contract manufacturing organisation, or perhaps one of your own internal sites, take the opportunity to perform a mini self-inspection, for example on a topic with which you have a concern. This will show that you're truly interested in the topic, and you will be able to validate what is happening at the site. It will also build confidence in the quality leadership of the site or in the contract manufacturing organisation. You will feel more able to trust once you have verified a few tasks and a few facts. So, the summary is, when managing a network, whether in-house or virtual, the first thing that's important is to set the standards. It could be that you have an internal pharmaceutical quality system, or you may just say that you need to meet the regulatory requirements. Secondly, choose a critical few metrics. Not too many, not too few. Build the right culture. The culture very much reflects the ability of a leader in an organisation to engender the right culture. Don't just trust, you need to verify, audit and benchmark. So, whether you use your own internal audit groups or whether you have a consultancy like NSF come and audit, it is important that you do this and find any problems that there may be before you have problems with a regulator. Benchmarking is also important both within your own company and with other companies. Let's not forget to invest in people. Make sure that they are trained in the current regulations related to their activities, and that they really are kept up to date, both in the technical and also soft skills, and communicate and engage with staff. One way of ensuring that staff keep up to date is via our e-learning offerings. We're adding to these almost every month. So here I've listed the ones that are available at the moment on our e-learning portal. They are available in English, but if you or your company has a need for them in another language, it could be possible to have them available in another language. So at the moment we have GMP for engineers, we have GXP inspection management lifecycle. Now this is one that I've recorded, and this talks about good manufacturing practice inspections, good distribution practice, good clinical practice, and pharmacovigilance inspections. Then we have human error prevention, microbiology, the basics. So if you want your staff to understand what's a microorganism, how they're killed, and so on, that's included in this particular e-learning. The Pharmaceutical EU legislation update, my colleague Pete Goff has recorded this, and so it would be easy for you to go and have a look and see what's been updated in the last year. And then self-inspections, how to make them add value to your organisation. Again, this reflects what I've been talking about here. Self-inspections are very important. And then the responsible person, this is the person for good distribution practice. And then writing SOPs, so the document life cycle of writing SOPs. And then coming very soon, we have computer systems validation, which is perhaps a mystery to some people, but this takes you through step by step how to make sure that your computer systems are validated correctly. Unfortunately, I'm not live today. I'm actually travelling, so if you do have any questions related to this or any other topics, then please feel free to email me at lynnbyers@nsf.org. And thank you very much for listening. Thank you and goodbye.